Last week I showed you 35 years of data proving that two simple ratios predict Palos Verdes and South Bay home prices 6 to 12 months before they move. This week, the new data came in and the signal got stronger. But at the same time, something else in the data started flashing that every seller in this market needs to see before setting a list price. Both things are true at once, and understanding the difference is worth real money. Let me show you. I'm George Fotion with Call Realty Best Palos Verdes Homes. I've tracked this market every single day for over 45 years, and this is the weekly update to my derivative calculus price momentum analysis. 1,835 consecutive weeks of data every week since May of 1991, now including the week ending August 9th. 30-second recap for anyone new. Indicator 1, pendings divided by new listings, the market's appetite, how many homes go into escrow for every fresh listing. Indicator 2, successes divided by failures, closings plus pendings divided by expired and canceled listings. Both passed every statistical test. I threw at them last week. They predict prices, but on a 6 to 12 month fuse. Because in real estate, demand moves fast, sales move second, and price always moves last. So what changed this week? The 13-week average closing price climbed to 1.58 mil. That is the 99th percentile of every reading in 35 years, and it is still 2.4% below where it was a year ago. Meanwhile, both leading indicators didn't just hold their ground, they widened their year-over-year advantages. The appetite ratio's edge grew, and the success to failure ratio's edge nearly doubled, with the raw ratio bouncing back above 3 after a 1-week dip. Improving demand underneath a lagging price tape, that's what I call positive divergence. And this week it got wider. In 35 years of data, that setup has resolved one way. Price catches up to demand over the following 2 to 4 quarters. My updated model says flat prices through this fall, turning positive by early 2027. But here's the flashing light I mentioned, and this is the heart of this week's update. While the leading indicators strengthened, price momentum decelerated sharply. 4 weeks ago, the price average was climbing at about $11,100 a week. This week, $4,100. In calculus terms, the first derivative is still positive, but the second derivative is steeply negative. Translation, the spring surge is hardening into a plateau, fast. So the complete picture is this. The floor under this market looks solid and getting solider, but the elevator is not coming. Prices are holding flat, then firming into 2027, not surging. Buyers, 4 moves. 1, your window is still open, but this week's data says it narrowed slightly. Every week, the convergence widens, leverage quietly drains out of the market. 2, negotiate against the comps, because comps from the past 90 days still carry last winter's weakness inside them. And most sellers don't know their momentum just dropped by 2/3. 3, shop the failure pile before it shrinks. The success ratio bouncing back above 3 means fewer expired listings returning at negotiable prices. 4, keep the success to failure ratio on your dashboard. Above 3, price floor holds. A sustained break below 3 would be your first real sign to slow down and press harder. Here's the advice for sellers. Here's your 4 tips. 1, price to the plateau, not the spring slope. The market is climbing at 4,000 a week, not 11. Pricing like the surge is still running is how you join the expired failure pile. And 1 in 4 listing outcomes is still a failure. 2, if your timeline is flexible, the case for 2027 got stronger this week. The peak of the predictive signal sits 10 to 11 months out, and both indicators just widened. 3, if you must sell now, presentation is your multiplier. This week logged nearly 21 closings, averaging 1.61 mil. The money is there for homes that earn it. 4, respect that second derivative. A decelerating market punishes aspirational list prices with silence, and silence is expensive. So if you're not getting the action you want, cut your price every week if you have to. Now, could I be wrong? Sure, of course. I'm human. Here's the strong counter argument. I'm calling the convergence wider partly on the strength of 1 week, and in a thin market, 1 week can swing into a swing a ratio 35% like it just did. And remember, average closing price is not home value. The weekly average jumped from 1.45 to 1.61 in 2 weeks. Did values leap 11% in 14 days? Of course not. The mix of what sold changed. That's exactly why I smooth everything over 13 weeks and publish the case against my own conclusions in every report. The full devil's advocate section is on the blog that you're seeing right here, this link that you'll see in the description below. Market averages describe the market. Your decision happens on one street, in one price band, on one timeline. If you want this exact analysis run on your home or your search, no obligation, just data. My calendar link is in the description. You'll find that blue Calendly tab on any of the pages on my website, or just call or text me at 424-722-9136. I've done this analysis for 45 years, and I'm not stopping now. I'm George Fotion. Call Realty Best Palos Verdes Homes. See you back here next week.